Hi, it's Lori here with A Voice in the Dark. And tonight, with it being the holidays, I just decided to do some reflection on the year and what I was thinking, and because we all celebrate winter, the whole world does, for some, in some form. Different names for it and all that, but it still represents us celebrating the winter when we, are, cooped up in the house a little bit more, and we're enjoying the fruits of our labor with friends, family, food, spirits. And at the end of it all, and we sit down at the end of the night, and we reflect on the year that we had. And we forgive people in situations that need it. And we often reflect on what's the difference between now and then. We always do that. Because we look back at our childhood and we think, things were so different then. We had neighborhood kids that all played together, and we always played in the one neighbor who had the biggest front yard, so we could play games and stuff, and that red light, green light, and that 1, 2, 3 statue freeze or whatever. And we had rich kids, we had poor kids, we had everything in between, and none of us thought anything of it. Except for the rich kids always had the best candy bars at Halloween. And, some of us had enough money that, we'd go down to the Penny Ante candy store, and some of us could afford to get a little bag. But we shared, some kids could only afford one piece. So we shared, and we just didn't treat each other as if we were different and divided by anything. We knew that so-and-so's dad really works well and, works at the steel mill, and he's a president, and he makes a lot of money. That's cool, because Halloween really is awesome. But it didn't affect us playing together and being well-rounded at how we looked at things. And then when we grew up and somebody was a janitor and somebody was a salesman and somebody else was a stockbroker, it didn't matter as long as we were happy. And that kind of encouragement from that kind of childhood, because I think it gives us a well-rounded view that we expect. And we just didn't make a big deal out of it, if you know what I mean. And then the next thing you know, we're seeing subdivisions built and cul-de-sacs, and everybody's being divvied up now by income layers. And we're missing so much. I had so much fun with my friends, and some were poor and some were rich. And I just think that it's how we've grown to live that is causing a bigger divide than what they're trying to give us on the news and, government. And we could go into all that crap, but we all know it's crap. So I just wanted to reflect on that, and that I don't know what the answers are, but I do know that we need to stick together. We need to stick together so that we can find the right answers and we can put the right people to work and help change the things that need to be changed. None of us are that brilliant. So, well, maybe some are, but the whole thing is that we each have a skill that we're really good at, and we need to stick together so that we can build a country that is based on the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights, and not ignore what we have fought so hard for and not let it slip through our fingers. Conglomerates were never supposed to be allowed. It's written in the Constitution. They found a way around it. But we can get that changed. There are things that are truly important to our future and our children's futures and our grandchildren and futures to come. And I think it's time we start looking at just what kind of future we want to bring into the world. What do we really want to see? Because right now is the best time to think about it. And, when I look back at the year, and a lot of horrible things happen, and, we had last year too. And I witnessed people who used to have tension between them. Black, white, girl, boy, lower class, upper class. I'm seeing new compassion, making room in everybody's mind for this person and this person, because you know what? We're all together here. And I'm seeing this. And, there's crime out there, blah, blah, blah. But it's isolated. My job actually lets me see a large variety of different income levels and places that people go. And I truly have seen a change, a shift in people. They're more tolerant of the homeless guy that keeps coming in and, wanting to get warm and babbling, and making weird noises. But they're being more tolerant of it. Used to be they'd run them out, and the customers would too. It's what I'm seeing is just more tolerance for each other, because that's all we have right now. And I think that's important for us to look at and feel. Feel the love. Love isn't about romance. Love comes from deep in the heart. It comes from compassion, is the highest form of love. And instead of being mad or being upset, or I don't care what they call this Christmas, it's Merry Christmas for me, and Merry Solstice, winter solstice for me. And there's nothing wrong with Hanukkah, and there's nothing wrong with First Night. There's nothing wrong with how people choose to worship and how they choose to celebrate their wins. Because that's all winter is celebrating our wins for the year. That's it. That's the lump sum of it all. And then we are always in thankfulness to our Creator, whoever that is. Because, when you die and you become just a soul, you find out and you realize that it's all one thing. So it doesn't matter what you call your God. It's all one. God or gods, doesn't matter. Because we are all connected, inside and out. We're gods. And sooner or later we'll figure it out. And we'll figure out what to do about it. So, I'm just saying, meditate. Make a commitment this year to see the good in every day, and to meditate twice a day. And I'm not talking deep meditation. I'm talking take 2 15-minute times in the morning and in the evening, just for you to get quiet and focus. Deep breathe. Really focus on the deep breathing. It's very important. And just let God know, your God, whoever that may be, or not, source, energy, whatever. Let's not make this a problem. It's not a problem. Let it know. Let the universe know that, hey, I'm going to commit to this because I want to feel you working in my life, and I want to see the world from your eyes. How do you see it? That is our next step, and it's a big one, and we all need to do it together. So let's all get with the program and give God a chance. Give the universe a chance to show us what we are. But the only way we can see it is if we start centering ourselves with meditation. That opens us up to our direct link and the universe will rock and roll your world. I've always said, play with the universe. Ask for things. Make them little things so that it's believable for you. And then work your way up the ladder with it, however big you want to get. But make sure it's something you're ready for. Sometimes you need to do your shadow work, which is just those things in you that cause fear, pain, and hurt that you've never addressed. And they're the things you need to address and get through them, and then give forgiveness to everyone and everything, and then yourself included. I know I sound kind of like a broken record on these, but it's so true, the difference it'll make in your life. And why do I care? Because I love humanity. I love humanity because we're the most unique beings, to me, in the universe. We have the ability to create from nothing. I mean, nothing. And not everybody in the universe has that ability. Not everybody in the universe has that imagination. And that wherewithal, or whatever you call it. I'm sorry, my teeth, I don't like them. But anyway. So, we need to see how far we can go. See how big we can get. How close to God, and how we can build our faith. My faith is never dimmed, no matter what I went through. I beg God to take care of me and protect me from myself. I always knew the angels were protecting me in my world. I knew that. I didn't mean to ever hurt their feelings, by the way. I wanted God to protect me from myself because I knew how I was. I made bad decisions when it came to boyfriends, men. Not all of them, but a few. But it was because they were issues that were cycles that I had never finished out. I never learned the lesson. So that's your shadow work. I've been doing that for a couple of years, and yeah. It sucks. I'm not going to lie. But you feel so much better afterwards that you're like, God, I can't believe I carried that around, and I carried some of mine around for several lifetimes. So, we're not perfect. Even if we're having a good life this lifetime, there is things we carry over. And there's legacies that we are breaking the curses on are from our families and our family lines. So I just want you to make a commitment to yourself and to Source, God, the universe, however you want to look at it. It's okay with God. They don't mind. And I use they because it's God got us all that is, to me. But I use the universe and Source to make it simple. You can put whatever God you want in place. I love Shiva too, because Shiva's been good to me. But I love Jesus too. And he's been good to me. And Mary Magdalene, actually. And I could go on. The angels, the aliens. And I don't want to go too far into all that, but I'm telling you, they're all here to help. And we need to open up and make a commitment not to be on Wi-Fi and internet all the time. We need to drop those phones. We need to turn them off. Turn off the power to your Wi-Fi for a couple hours a day. We don't need to be hooked up to that crap. But we do need quiet time with Source and quiet time with our families so that we can be present, in the present, fully. And you need to teach your children this. I don't care how old they are. You have to teach them. This is important for our future. And I just cannot tell you how important it is to your future, your soul's future. Look at it as this is a school, and we're about to graduate. We get to ascend. However, there's still some slip sliding we're going to do, and there's still going to be some scary things that happen. I want you to surround yourselves in white light, fill yourself with white light, and trust and have faith in God that all is happening as it should. Have faith. And have your compassion and empathy, but do not lose yourself in the fear or the pain. It's hard, but it's real important now. It's real important to look at our world a little differently so that we can walk prouder and more conscious and conscious creators with God, Source. So, I love all of you. And Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy First Night and Winter Solstice and everything. And all you that I cannot possibly list off because I don't know all of them. But to all of you, a good winter's holiday. And good reflections, I hope. And another thing I wanted to say is that the holidays tend to be stressful for some, and I imagine this year is no different. So if you don't get mad at your partner or your parental, persons. Look at them. Just stop and be observant. And if they're stressed, just wait a minute and say nicely, "Can I help you?" And see if their stress level goes down a little bit. I want you to pay attention to the things you do and the things you say and the way you interact with each other. That's why you have to put the phones down and the computers down and get the Wi-Fi off for a while. A couple hours a day is good. And I want you to become really conscientious of how you interact with everyone. The people you love the most are the biggest right now. That needs healing, all of it. So you need to spend time with them. And then your next outer ring, where you socialize. Next outer ring is when you're out in society, work or going shopping. I'm not asking you to just feel sorry for anybody or to be overly empathic or compassionate. What I'm saying is be kind. Just be kind, because that's what I'm seeing more and more of. We need to be kind to each other. It doesn't matter how good we did and how lousy they did. That doesn't matter, and that does not matter to your soul. What matters is how you treat them. Anyone that has less than you, how you treat them. You don't have to support them. You do not have to give them money and fix them up. You just have to be kind and smile and bless them. And usually it's by looking them in the eye and listening sometimes. But do not put yourself in danger of any homeless people either. And girls, you should always walk together. And there are still things you have to be careful of. But in groups, you can stop people from making fun of people. Bullies suck. And bullies are the least confident people on earth. They have to put other people down to make themselves feel good, because they don't look in the mirror and love themselves. They look in the mirror and they see all their flaws. It's probably from their childhood maybe, or whatever, school, whatever. But it's not an excuse. And it's not an excuse for any of you or myself to get involved in that kind of bantering about another human being. That human being's doing the best they can with what they got. And that's what you got to understand. And that's what you have to give in kindness. Just give them the space to exist freely. I had a little old lady in a store one time, and she was trying to check out, and she was older. It was taking her time. She was trying to use a coupon, and she was trying to find her money and trying to find her change, and she felt so embarrassed that she was taking so long. She said, "I am so sorry. I'm so sorry." And I looked at her and I said, "You know what? As long as you are taking breath, you have a right to take up space." And everybody, well, not everybody, but most of the people clapped. There was a couple ladies that I finally had to look at them, and they finally said, yeah. But sometimes you got to force niceness. At least I do. I don't expect you to, but I do. And, but I'm different, so. Be kind. Because when you die and you stand at those pearly gates or whatever you envision for the end, how much money you made and how nice you looked and how cool you were will have not a fucking thing to do with your soul's growth or expansion. What you're going to see is whether or not you were kind to most people, as many as possible. So let's focus on that this year, and building a good rapport with Source, the angels, and the whoever you want to call them, spirit guides, whatever. There's a plethora of them. It doesn't matter what you want to call them. They are here, and they are willing and ready to work with everyone, because this is an exciting time in our history as human beings. We have never, ever made it here in the past. Not once. Because we're too war hungry. We were too war hungry in the past. So this is an important and really celebratory time for humans. So let's stick together, be kind, get to know Source, let it work in your life. Is it going to be perfect? No, because you're not perfect. Everything we want can be possible. But you got to do the work for yourself. And it has nothing to do with what so-and-so does or anything else. It's just what you do for yourself and how much compassion and kindness you can show the world. Other than that, it's pretty smooth sailing. You can go for whatever you want. Be whatever you want. And everything you need, every answer, every problem, anything, everything you need is already in here. It's already in here. Your soul is attached to God, Goddess, all that is. You don't have to go to school. I'm sure I'm going to get yelled at by that, but let's say college. But anything you want to know can be found in the quiet that you allow God and Source to communicate and share with you and answer all your questions. Try it. Play with it. Just twice a day, 10, 15 minutes. Just deep breathing. And let God know you're serious. And it helps because the universe will help align your energies as you're proving that you're willing to do this. You're wanting to do it. They'll help. So use it. And the other thing is that a lot of people get depressed this time of year. So if you would look in my description box below, there are national hotline phone numbers for multiple forms of abuse and psychology to get help if you need it. And don't hesitate to call, because you know what? It's okay to get help now. It used to not be. It used to be you had to shove it under the carpet. You don't have to anymore, so screw it. Get help. It's okay. And it does help. And once you start feeling a little leveled off, make sure you meditate, and then maybe check out some of the, not all New Age is good, but if you get your intuition going and your gut instincts, you'll know which one's good for you and which one's not. You'll be guided. There is quantum jumping you can do, which also includes learning anything you want to learn. Become a painter, a really good painter for a couple months. Oh, now I want to be a mathematician. Play with the universe. It works for you, with you. And God bless. And merry winter solstice and winter holidays. Blessings and love. Lori here at A Voice in the Dark and spiritscrossing.net. Thank you for everything, and I hope that somehow this helps. I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.